Right, it's about that time. Let's get right into it, shall we? All right, let's go ahead and go over what we got going on today in the markets. All right, it's going to be short and sweet today. There's not much going on. Okay, yesterday we are going over how price is going to be stalling out, prepping for Friday. If we move to the higher time frames on the 4-hour, I was talking about this trend exhaustion, how it should move down a little bit and come all the way back up because Friday is going to be a news catalyst. Where's price going to go? I'm banking on it's going to fall. But the market maker wants to move price out of this range and continue higher, which very well might be happening. Or we could come down and recover some of this vector candle right here. But that's on higher time frames. And we aren't even touching this 800 EMA. All right. Now, if we go to lower time frames, especially the hourly, what did New York try to do? Spike price higher. Okay. And then we can see where our resistance is at. It's literally right up here. Draw a nice horizontal line for you. Okay. So we got it right there. That's our resistance. So where are we at? Okay. We now have a range on the hourly. Look at where previous resistance was at. This should now fall to support, even though we are trending higher. But with these two orange lines, we have now figured out our range, okay? I figure out a range by where price moved up the most, okay? It shot up and broke through here, okay? We had multiple touch points on this resistance line right down here, and then when we came back to it, we get this. It was a vector candle before it got recovered. Well, most of it recovered. But this right here is what's pushing you out and above this range. Now, where we find a new range at. This is our new resistance. So we are in between this area. Now, I was saying yesterday, I like the 800 EMA. That's going to be more of my range for a bottom, okay? As you can see, this wick all the way down right here. It tapped it. Didn't come all the way down to here. Came to the 800. So that's going to be my new range. So it's slightly going to keep moving up higher, okay? Now, if we're going to trade this, because this would be a good trading day, especially with the New York session still happening, okay? Now, you got to be careful coming into the Sydney session and then the Asian session at night. That's going to set something up different, like how the US session spiked price higher and hit our high range, okay? Now, when we come down to the lower time frames, let's come down to the 5 minute, all right? Where's our next set of range on the 5 minute? All right, let's get super microscopic, come to a super low time frame, all right? Right here, we don't even have to consider these wicks, but right here, we'll take the body, okay? That's going to be our low, all right? And where's our high going to be? Well, if you come over here a little earlier, where was the range? Okay, you had this playing as resistance and broke out, and then it came back down as support, and you get the support here, you come up, boom, down, you get the support there, breaks a little lower, okay? This is another range. But right here is the bread and butter. This is what we're going to be trading in. Get another line. You move it right there. Okay. How much of a difference do we have? Okay, this is we'll round it to 2980, and then we'll round it all the way down to, we'll just say 2950. It's a $30 difference. Now you come to the 1 minute. All right. Now it's looking juicy. This is easily where you're gonna make your money. Right now we're neutral. What are we gonna do? Gonna wait for this to come down, eat this liquidity right here that just popped up. Okay. Potentially come down. And then that's when you put in your long. Have it come down $10, put in your long, let it come back up. Now, what is it going to do? Now, if we look here, 200 EMA has now become some sort of resistance. Okay. So if it comes down and pops back up, take your profits at the 200. That's for my scalping lesson right here. I'm not going to tell you where to enter, but this is where you're going to find a range. And this is exactly what you're going to do to scalp the markets today and potentially tomorrow, because we have the big news plays happening on Friday. All right. Now, Friday is definitely going to be my swing trade day. That is where I'm looking, okay, for this trend exhaustion to come all the way back up, and then Friday news is going to be a catalyst. Now, I didn't load up the high block. I don't think much has changed, but we go ahead and try to load this. I know it's a little slow. I usually have to load it before I stream. Otherwise, it doesn't load. It's probably not going to load. So right now, just be cautious. We're falling in some ranges, but this is a perfect time to scalp. Okay. Oh, we got it. Huh. There we go. Hang on. Come back. Nope. Not going to come back. Give it a second to load. There we go. All right. We're going to get off of Bitcoin because we don't trade Bitcoin. Well, you can't trade Bitcoin, but it's going to be the leader into where you're going to want to do your trade setups. And that's a little hard to follow because once Bitcoin makes a move, then Ethereum makes its move. So it's a little easier to follow along. Let's see if we could get this to load. It takes a little bit. Nah. Yeah, it's not going to load. Freaking processor's taking forever. Anyways, that's all I got for today as far as scalping. I would just do it in the US session right now, and that ends around, was it 3 p.m. Central Time it ends, and then the Sydney session starts. So you can literally see, we'll go to a smaller time frame where these sessions are at. So we got the European session. What happened? They spiked it higher, and then halfway through their session, they went lower. All right, US Brink session got a tweezer effect. It just spiked high, then immediately spiked low. So are they now setting up for Sydney? So the Sydney session is basically this little chunk that's missing right here. It's a 3-hour gap. Okay. What are they going to do? Can we see anything other than it falling in the range and having support and following along the 50 EMA? I'm betting that they spike it higher and tap up again. All right. And if we can't spike higher, we're going to be falling down to this range down here of around 28.50, I would say, and tap the 200. This is on the 30-minute time frame, by the way. But right now, this is looking like a logarithmic regression where we're getting, well, we're not getting higher highs, but we are getting the higher lows. And if we can't get the higher high and break above, we're definitely going to be coming back down, which is why you got to be careful on Friday as to what happens. But this is definitely a good time to start trading. Keep in mind, about 10 minutes around lunchtime, price does tend to stall out, but it's a good time to start scalping a little bit. And as you can see, price has been going down, like I said, on the 5-minute chart here. When we zoom in, or was it the 1 minute? Go back to the 1 minute. And yeah, you could see it ate away that liquidity that was there, that green liquidity. And now it just made this short liquidity present. So if we come down here as it's painting this candle, we're going to get right around here. This is a perfect time to long. Well, let this candle play out, finish painting. Got about 30 seconds left. And then jump in right here. It should eat this liquidity and come back up to this range. Maybe tap to 200, which would be around, I would say like 29.68 is where the 200 would probably end up by the time it starts coming back up. And all right, let's watch this really quick and see if it taps the range and comes back up. Let's watch it happen. There we go. Look at that. It's getting rejected right there at the range. Now you got all this liquidity right here. Boom, it just painted more. So see what's happening? It's now taking that liquidity, at least half of it out, okay? could take half of it out and come back down. But this is a perfect point where you just go for 10 pips, $10 rise, which if you got in, the low would be 29.53, and then you try to go up for 29.63, which would be right around here, which would be a great position to take profits because you're not even cutting halfway in to the liquidity, which it tends to likely do. Like you can see right down here, it's cutting halfway into the liquidity right there. So this is a good spot to long, take your 10, and then get out and take your profits. It's that easy. All right, well, that's my lesson on a little scalping for today while the markets are trading sideways, because this is a perfect time to scalp. We're going to keep an eye out coming up Friday. I think tomorrow, Thursday, is going to be an interesting day as to what happens with the price, especially today with the U.S. Brink session. It was a little weird that we spiked up and then spiked back down almost immediately. I think it's falling in line with the Bitcoin quarters theory, because it spiked up to about 45,000, and there is a lot of selling pressure at 45K, at nice hold numbers and quarters theory. So that's a psychological level that needs to be broken. And the more that we keep tapping it and getting there and stalling out, it's not likely to break it. But as soon as we do break it, I definitely think 50,000 for Bitcoin is going to be in the cards later down the road. But for now, we can't worry about that, and we need to worry more about Friday and what happens with the news. All right, that's all I got for you today. Tune in tomorrow.